Namaste, Pranam, meditation on the Bhagavad Gita. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Kratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitam Ritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatvam Anusandadhami Bhagavad Gite Bhavadveshinim. O Bhagavad Gita, with which Lord Narayana himself gave enlightenment to Partha, which was included in the Mahabharata by the ancient sage Vyasa. O showerer of the nectar-like knowledge of Advaita, O goddess contained in the 18 chapters, O my affectionate mother, the destroyer of rebirth, I meditate upon thee. Now, salutations to Sri Krishna. Vasudeva sutam devam kansa-chanūramardhanam devakim paramanandam krishnam vande jagadgurum. O son of Vasudeva, the slayer of Kansa and Chanur, extreme delight for Mother Devaki, O Krishna, the supreme teacher of the universe, my salutations to you. Now the 47th shloka, this is Sanjay uvācha. Now, although all these shlokas are being narrated by Sanjay only to Dhritarashtra, but the specific words of Arjuna, or Krishna, they are maintained as it is, like Arjuna uvācha, which Sanjay is relaying it to Dhritarashtra. Now here, Sanjay is directly talking to Dhritarashtra, sitting in front of him, and that is what Vyasa is telling us, that these are the words of Sanjay. Sanjay uvācha. Evam uktvārjunaḥ saṅkhye rathopastha upāviśhat visṛijya sa-śharaṁ chāpaṁ śhoka-saṁvigna-mānasaḥ. Sanjay said to Dhritarashtra that evam uktva, the 46th shloka that Arjuna had spoken to Sri Krishna, that it will be good for me if the sons of Dhritarashtra, they kill me in this war. I am not going to resist. I am not going to hold any weapons. But so, with me unresisting, with me without any weapons in my hand, even if the sons of Dhritarashtra kill me on this battlefield, that will be good for me, O Krishna. So, now Sanjay is saying, evam uktva, evam is thus, uktva, having said, Arjunaha saṅkhye, saṅkhye is in the battle. Having said these words in the battle, Arjuna rathopastha upāviśhat. Upāviśhat sat, rathopastha, in the chariot. He just sat down on his seat in the chariot. So Sanjay is telling Dhritarashtra that having said these words, Arjuna just sat in the seat of his chariot. Visṛijya is having cast away, having discarded what? Sa-śharaṁ chāpaṁ. Sa-śharaṁ is arrow. Chāpaṁ is bow. Having discarded, having cast away the arrow and the bow, śhoka-saṁvigna-mānasaḥ. Mind distressed with sorrow. How much distressed he was. So now Sanjay is telling, Sanjay said, so saying, overwhelmed with sorrow in the battlefield, Arjuna sat on the seat of his chariot, abandoning his bow and arrows. Now, that was the ultimate stage of frustration, delusion, despondency that came over Arjuna. He was not willing to even do anything now. He just slumped in his seat by the thought of what all wrongs he would be doing if he wages this war against Kauravas, his relatives, his kinsmen. He has forgotten all the wrongs they did to them. He had forgotten even the basis on which this war is being fought. This war is the Mahabharata. It is the war of righteousness against unrighteousness. And even the righteous and mighty warrior like Arjuna has forgotten it. He has forgotten it under the spell of delusion. That what a great duty he would be performing by waging this war. That he has forgotten. And he just slumps in the seat of his chariot, throwing away his mighty bow, his arrows, and with a sorrowful mind, fully dejected, he just slumps. And Sanjay is narrating this entire incident to Dhritarashtra. Maybe Dhritarashtra has a faint hope that this war will not be waged. He might be carrying, once Dhritarashtra heard this line from Sanjay, that the state in which Arjuna has entered, the stage in which Arjuna has downgraded himself. This is the ultimate downfall for a mighty warrior, that giving away his weapons, throwing away his weapons, he has just slumped to the seat, onto his seat, with the intention of not fighting the war, with the intention of even allowing the enemy to kill him unarmed, to kill him unresisting. He has prepared for that. So that is the most unfortunate thing to happen to any warrior. And with that, the first adhyaya is over, which has taken us along the various kind of the scenarios on the battlefield. First of all, Sanjaya narrating this entire happening on the Kurukshetra to Dhritarashtra. Then came Sanjaya narrating about how both the armies, they were standing facing each other, very keen to wage war. Both the armies were very keen. And then that some kind of the weakness felt by Duryodhana, and to hide that weakness, because Duryodhana has never anticipated Pandavas could accumulate, could gather such a huge army, although they were less in numbers. But the number of the army, the way it was arrayed, the way it was standing, although numerically they were low, in spirit, in the warfare skill, they were far, far superior to this high-numbered Kaurava army. So Duryodhana had a bit got shackled. And then all his talk with Dronacharya, that you have to lead, and then taunting Dronacharya, that these are the same disciples of yours whom you had taught all these war tactics and the war games, and now they are here ready to fight with you, even they are willing to kill you. What a great mistake you did. So Dronacharya bringing out his frustration, Duryodhana bringing out his frustration out on Dronacharya for having trained Arjuna and all the Pandavas. And then when Pitamaha Bhishma saw that Duryodhana is going way too far, he just cut him across with his Singhanath, the lion roar, and he blew his conch. Bhishma blew his conch, and it was an indication that Kauravas, they have taken a lead in waging the war. That was the first move from the Kaurava camp of Bhishma, blowing the conch and with that lion roar, declaring the war to be open. And immediately after that, all the Kaurava army also they start, the generals, the marshals, they started blowing their horns, their conches, and the trumpets, and the war instruments. And the same challenge was accepted by the Pandavas, the opposite army, and they also started. They accepted the challenge. Yes, we are also prepared. Come, you want to wage the war? You have taken this lead by blowing the conch. Here is the reply from our end. And then came the first reply, Madhava blowing his Panchajanya. Then Arjuna. Then the remaining brothers, Bhima, Yudhishthira, Nakul, Sahadev, and then all the and that uproar, in fact, what Sanjay was telling Dhritarashtra, that uproar was so huge that it filled not only the skies but all the three worlds as if. And that was the spirit with which Pandavas were fighting. That was the spirit with which the righteousness was going to fight unrighteousness. That was the boost. That was the spirit. And goaded with that spirit, goaded with that confidence, Arjuna had asked Sri Krishna, come on, Krishna, take my chariot in front of the enemy camp. Let me see who all are so keen to fight with us. Let me see who is going to stand in front of us. Well, let me see who is going to be waging the war with us. Who has got those guts to fight with our mighty army? That was the intention with which Arjuna had asked Krishna to take the war, and Krishna also knew that something is going to happen with this kind of overconfidence that Arjuna is showing. And having taken the chariot in front of Kaurava army, in between both the armies, in fact, then Krishna said, look now, although those words were actually not mentioned as Krishna's words, but Sanjay narrating Dhritarashtra that Krishna had told Arjuna, now look, now see, scan your enemy with all your intelligence, with all your sight. You scan your enemy and see who all are going to fight with you. And then Arjuna saw Pitamaha Bhishma, Dronacharya, Krupacharya, his great teachers. And then suddenly, that feeling of Atmiyata, that feeling of being Swajana, that feeling of being near and dear ones for all those wretched and evil-minded Kauravas, Duryodhana, Dushasana. Suddenly, that feeling of minus, keenness, it grew in Arjuna. A veil got created, and he was so much deluded. He started saying, oh, they are my own near and dear ones. If I kill them, there will be so much of anarchy. There will be so much of wrong if I kill my brothers. There will be nothing but evil. No morality in the remaining family members. And all the family religious duties, they will get compromised. They will be destroyed. And in the end, the result will be the long lasting, we don't know for how long, stay for us in the hell. Oh Krishna, haven't got that point. Now, Arjuna, he has slumped in his seat and cast away his bow and arrow and just dejected with the sorrowful mind. He has sat there. And there ends the first adhyaya, the Arjuna Vishad Yoga, of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Iti Srimad Bhagavad Gita Supanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Sri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Arjuna Vishada Yogo Nama Prathamodhyaya. Thus, in the Upanishad of the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavad Gita Supanishatsu, Bhagavad Gita is considered as Upanishad. So, in the Upanishad of Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Vidyayam, the knowledge of Brahman, Yoga Shastre, the science of yoga, the supreme, Sri Krishna Arjuna Samvade, the dialogue between Sri Krishna and Arjuna. In fact, entire Gita is basically a dialogue between Sri Krishna and Arjuna. Now, here in the first chapter, we have seen Arjuna has played his part of bringing out all his delusion, bringing out all his despondency, and with the dialogue between Sri Krishna and Arjuna, this is the first adhyaya. Arjuna Vishada Yoga Nama Prathamodhyaya. Thus ends the first chapter, the first discourse entitled The Despondency of Arjuna, the Arjuna Vishada Yoga. Now, in fact, the real teachings will start. This is just the usual frustration that any fighter will first of all bring out to his benefactor, to his friend, philosopher, and guide. He's gone now. So this is just a prelude to what is going to happen now in future. Is it end of war? No. Sri Krishna is not going to make that happen. Sri Krishna never said he is not going to talk. He only said he is not going to pick up any weapon and directly get involved in the fight. But he is going to talk and talk and talk. He is going to give that ultimate knowledge in this Upanishad of the Bhagavad Gita. So, that is the first adhyaya where Arjuna brought out all his frustrations and the intention that no, I am not going to fight. Even if he is to fight the righteous war, no. He said, I am not going to fight. Let the wicked kill me. Let the evil kill me. I am willing for that. Now, Sri Krishna tells from second chapter onwards that what is right, what is wrong. So with that, we will end up our reading from the first chapter here. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Jai Shri Ramakrishna. Jai Thakur Jai Ma. Jai Swami.